You've tuned into The Mountain Gardener with your host, Ken Lain. Gardening it can be challenging, but with these simple insider tips, you'll reap huge rewards. Now, let's tune into today's Mountain Gardener with Ken and Lisa. And we are back with Lisa Waters Lane in the studio. She comes each week with your garden questions. Just what are your neighbors talking about? So she comes in and we'll just dive right in. But before we do that, we should share our earthquake story.
Our earthquake story.
Earthquakes. We survived an earthquake at 5:01 in the morning down in Cabo San Lucas. That was 2 weeks ago. We were down there kind of in the middle of the night. Boom. Actually, the building starts shaking, and then you just hear this gigantic pop. Pop, boom, like a truck slamming into a building or something. So
you heard it, you were awake, you felt it. I didn't really, I thought you were lying, but you were I was like, yo, you're just dreaming it. And then we were hanging around with other people, and they're like, oh yeah, the earthquake. I was like, oh darn it.
Yep.
He was
right again. That's our third. Let's see. I've been through the big one in California back in the 90s.
The 90s, yeah.
We've been through a hurricane. What else have we been through? When we travel, we we were in the earthquake in Napa Valley. Was that 4 or 5 years ago? So it split Napa like in two. We were in a bed and breakfast on the second floor, and it just started violently shaking.
Yes.
And you kind of go, there's nothing you can do because the floor is moving. You can't get to the bathroom where it's safe or whatever, so you just kind of go, this building's been here since 1950 whatever.
We were in an old Victorian, the top floor of an old Victorian home, B&B, and it was shaking like something. I'm like, Ken, it's an earthquake. Or I said it's shaking. He goes, yeah, I know it's an earthquake. Like, do we get out of the building?
It's like, put another quarter in, let it shake some more. It kind of feels pretty good if you're not trying to stand.
Right. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, a few environmental, natural disasters.
Why is that? It seems like we catch them. Is it because there's always earthquake and hurricanes in the summer, and that's when we're traveling, or why is that?
Don't know.
Like disproportionate number of things. I don't know. Don't overthink it. Just enjoy the journey.
It wasn't bad. The one in Cabo was pretty mild. Yeah. I mean, we've had here in Prescott, we've had some very mild earthquakes.
Yeah. Okay, enough about earthquakes and travel and natural disasters and war and rumors of war. How about we should just all garden more?
I agree.
What do you got for us?
Well, our first question is from Terry. She says, I'm pulling out some non-producing summer crops, tomatoes, etc., and want to put in fall veggies. She says, should I freshen the soil, putting in more mulch, manure, nutrients? What should I do to the soil?
Yeah, Terry, that's actually a good question. So especially where you're pulling out things that have been aggressively growing, corn, beans, peas, your tomatoes, tomatillos, big squash, pumpkins. These are big plants, and they use up the soil because they need to create such strong growth and lots of fruit. So I encourage you, yes, it is time to make the transition. You can clear out the things that aren't producing. What should you do? If it's in a raised bed, the easiest thing would be put a bag of potting soil in there. That's what the plants are grown in. You're probably starting things not by seed right now. I guess you could, but you're trying to get a jump start on things. So we've got little starts here at the garden center. Well, the starts are started in potting soil. Just dig that old stuff up, get rid of the old roots as best you can, free up some room for some fresh potting soil. And then at the same time, I would add some food. Just put some nutrients in there. And a little insider tip. We've been doing quite a bit of planting at our place. And we've got a new product here called woolets. Woolets are like wool pellets. They're wool like sweater wool, like sheep wool. They pelletize them, and they've got a 9% nitrogen fix. They've got some potash. They expand to hold moisture. They had aerate to the soil. The science behind these are amazing. Just get a bag of that, and that'll really jumpstart your broccoli and cauliflower and spinach and lettuce and all that other stuff you're planning on planting. I even added it to some of my pansies and viola to wonderful effect. It's amazing how quickly things are filling in. So this is some potting soil, some actual food, and some woolet pellets. We've got all that here at the garden center, and you are ready to plant almost like immediately.
Mm-hmm.
So
So what's your thought on not raised beds, but like in soil? Would you use manure this time of year? Or do you think it's too hot? Better to go with other.
I recommend putting manure down, but not planting directly in it right away. It's just too hot. Generally, I say if you're going to leave the bed open, let's say you're pulling some flower beds or you're going to pull out a big space and you're just kind of shrinking the garden down. Yes, very much. Add a 2 to 3 inch layer of manure in that space, but then let it set. Because Terry wanted to pull out tomatoes and put new things in. Kind of went, better safe than sorry. Potting soil is definitely a better way to go, where you can just, like, in the same day, get your broccoli, get some cauliflower, pull the plants out, add some potting soil, willets, and some food, boom, pot them right in, water it in, and watch them grow just like that. You'll be harvesting through the end of the year. Kale through the entire winter. Oh, yeah. Kale's a weed.
Definitely. All right. Next question is from Chris. Says he picked all the fruit from his peaches and nectarines. He wants to know if he can prune them back now, or is it best to wait until February?
Yeah, Chris, probably better to wait. Now, with that being said, you can prune 10% of the foliage mass whenever you want. So if it needs a haircut or it's trying to poke in the eye or something, prune it, get it out of the way. But that major pruning is done in midwinter. And the reason this is, Chris, there's bugs out right now. There's disease. There's things floating around. If you make a cut, the sap of those, especially pitted fruits, it's really sweet and very attractive to pack rats and beetles and aphids and everything else. But in midwinter, the sap's not flowing. You don't have to do any special care for the wound after you made that cut. It's just safer to do that major. I really got to cut this thing back. Usually January, February, March. It's a big window. Enjoy the holidays, then go after, because I love your ambition, but kind of hold back and kind of, it might be a little too soon.
Yeah. Okay. Our next question, but before I ask it, I have to know, where have you been? You have spider webs on your hat.
That are like, oh my gosh.
So distracting.
Look at that. Yeah. I don't know where I've been. I've been helping Eric hang lights up for the grapes for good parties. We're getting ready for this big fundraiser on the we've been in boxes and pulling things out, hanging up, because it's an after hour party and it gets a little dark. So we're trying to go, how do we make this safer for 400 guests here at the garden center?
All I kept seeing is this spider web on your hat. Okay, so minor distraction there. We'll move on. Our next question is from Tom. He has a small pinyon pine about 2 foot tall growing next to an established spruce tree. He knows he needs to move it. He wants to move it to a better spot in the yard. He wants to know when the best time to move it is. And then also, once it's moved, should it be put on irrigation?
Yeah, Tom, those are actually really good questions. Can we answer this in 2 minutes or less? You're getting it smaller. That's great. Good idea. The best time is when it's dormant and completely cold. So you want it to be chilled. And so January, February, probably your best time. If you did it now, the risk is much greater, like 3 to 5 times, 10 times greater. I don't know what kind. It's more dangerous. In midwinter, because it's in stasis, the sap is not really flowing. You can make more mistakes and have more success. So dig that hole where you want it to go first. Then you get as much of the root. It seems like a little 2-footer would be fine, but get as much of the soil as you can physically lift, because those tap roots go, you never know where. Then move it over to keep it exposed as short a time as you can, not because it's cold in January, but because the air is dry. So you want to move it, put it over there, plant it. We've got a planting guide that would help you, Tom. Come get that. You'll need 3 things when you transplant it: some mulch. So you're trying to control the drainage, basically. These are such dry, drought hardy plants. Mulch helps it to aerate, kind of stuff. You want some transplant shock. Oh my gosh, root and grow. It is going to root. It is still rooting in midwinter. The ground is not frozen. That'll help it transplant for you. Do that at least every 2-3 weeks through winter until you see the new growth coming up. And then put a little bit of food around it, some all-purpose plant food that will encourage it to stay green and kind of take. Should you put on irrigation? I would lean towards no or yes. I don't know. That first to put it on there to get it established would be great value. But then at the end of next growing season, probably take it off and do it by water by hand kind of thing. It's how I'd recommend that. But that there, Tom, come in for the planting guide. It's got all of that with instructions and pictures. It'll really help you. But wait until January. Water's garden companion plants for September are pampas grass, honeysuckle, raywood ash, and lacy blue Russian sage.
Lacy blue Russian sage is a Water's preferred perennial for its compact form that doesn't flop over in the landscape like others.
The spiky blue flowers bloom summer through fall with aromatic foliage detestable to all animals.
Simply stunning at the edge of dry stream beds mixed with wildflowers.
Shop in-store or online at watersgardencenter.com. For a more fruitful garden, increased success in the landscape that just feels better, then tune in daily to the Mountain Gardener podcast. Subscribe through your favorite podcast streamer or visit watersgardencenter.com. Better yet, visit me directly right here at Waters Garden Center. Thanks for tuning in.